Hello, welcome back to Cars of Glasgow. I'm Thomas and today you join me with the 2025 Lexus NX 350h Urban. This car has been loaned to me by Lexus Glasgow. In today's video I'm going to give you a walk around tour of the car, show you its quirks and features on the interior and get it out on the road for a test drive. So stay tuned for this video. Now up front we do have this integrated headlight design. You're going to notice this is different from the Mark 1 because that had the split little daytime running light below it. It's all integrated into one unit. We do have a variation of the spindle grille, which I think it looks really handsome, and just, yeah, this kind of design language really speaks to me. Up front, it's also worth noting the Lexus badge. All Lexus now have the black with the chrome L emblem. Gone is the days with the little blue to highlight this as a hybrid. Overall, it's an evolution of what we've seen in the Mark 1, and yeah, I think it does a good job again of being an entry-level NX. It's taken on from what you've seen previously and then brought it forward for 2022 onwards for the Mark II. Now we do have cladding around the wheel arch here to kind of signify the SUV-ness of the vehicle. So around the rear of the NX, you're going to notice this is the new model because it's got the bar light going across. Gone is the Lexus L emblem and Lexus is spelled out across the rear. Got NX 350 badge in here and no visible tail pipes on this model. We do of course have parking sensors all round, and which is nice to see, an electronic tailgate. I was not expecting to see that on the base model. We do have 520 litres of boot space. However, I put my camera bag in here just for kind of reference to show you the size of it. Now if I pull this bag out, the floor does lift up and you are able to do and split it like so. So you could maybe have some items in here and then put some other items down behind there, as well as this cargo net. So it's got a fairly flexible floor space along with tie-down hooks, and this cargo net here folds up. We do have 60/40 folding seats in the rear as well to enhance cargo capacity of this sport utility vehicle. And we also have an electronic tailgate that closes at touch of a button. Alright, so you join me in the back of the NX. Now I will say, going over from the Mark 1 to the Mark 2, it does feel like there's more room back here. I feel like there's more leg room, just general space just feels a little bit more, and we've not got a big glass roof or anything back here, but you know what, it feels quite nice and, you know, just airy and spacious. We do have climate vents as well as USB-C chargers and a 12-volt power outlet for any of your rear passengers, as well as two mat pockets which are lined with kind of a carpeted material, so you can put something in there without scratching it up. In the event you're carrying two passengers, we can have one at each side with an armrest with two cup holders. The seats do fold flat, which is nice, but they've also got the tie-down hook for your child seat, and they've got two settings for the rear. So when they're sitting like this, you're able to go and have it like that, or you can pull this little flap and they decline ever so slightly, so on a longer road trip you can recline back, which is quite nice. If I sit in the middle, I'm 5'11". I've got plenty of headroom. Shoulder room's not too bad. You know, free abreast is going to be okay. Probably ideal for two. Free children's going to be fine. But on the outer seats, this is where the passengers are going to enjoy the comfort of the headroom, the kind of elbow pads on the side of the door and the centre console here. And overall space is not too bad. I could see myself doing a road trip back here, no problem. We've got door lock, window switch. It's nice to see we've got some storage back here on the door card, lined with the fuzzy stuff in the same material for the door card trim as we do up front, and a little speaker up here, as well as grab handles and a little hook there which allows you to maybe hang like your suit or something like that if you're out on the road with business. Now the way that these door handles work, they look like they just pull like a normal lever, but there's actually a little button back there that electronic releases, and that pulls the door open like so. And also what surprised me is this car has keyless entry and keyless lock, so you can literally put your finger there, wing mirrors fold in, and the car locks, which is quite a neat touch. Go ahead and unlock the car, put your hand there, pull the door open. So inside the front cabin of the NX, you're going to notice it's kind of driver focused, especially with this plastic here angled towards the driver. I'll put the foot in the brake and start the car up. We do have keyless start as well as a heated steering wheel that's also electronic, so when you get in and out the car and turn the car on and off, it goes for easy entry and exit. Now the screen here is a 9.8-inch touchscreen. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard, which is wireless, which is nice to have. And we do have a relatively fast touchscreen here. As you can see, you can cycle through different modes. Not going to put radio or on or anything, but I like the fact you can like pinch and zoom, pretty fast and responsive. This is the base screen. If you upgrade to higher trim models, you do get a larger screen. And this car does have heated seats and heated steering wheel as standard, which are automatic, or you can have them as free stage. Again, touch of a button, let the car work it out. Climate controls are just down here. We do have dual zone, and they're controlled by these rotary knobs on the outside here. You can sync them up, or you could have them separate, whatever you want it to be. I'll have it off just for the video. And then down here, we do have two climate vents, square ones on the outside and then rectangular in the centre. Hazards, USB-C and USB-A, wireless phone charger, which the drawer slides away to reveal a little cubby, and a 12-volt power outlet. Now, it would not be a Cars of Glasgow video without a glove box reveal. It's red, it's softly damp and flamed with fuzzy stuff. I really like the action. And it's a little bit of a shame because it's a little bit shallow at the top, but it is enough to get your logbook and your spare wheel nuts and things like that inside. Overall build quality does feel robust and solid enough. I do prefer the NX Mark 1 interior with kind of white stitching. Remember it had that little vanity mirror inside and exposed screws and that. This car's a little bit more kind of generic on the interior. But yeah, it's like relatively soft touch and rubberized. I'm sure it will last the test of time. We do have an auto-dimming mirror at the top, which is nice to see, as well as a sunglass holder lined with the fuzzy stuff. So this car is pretty well kitted out for a base model. Do have touch capacitive lights up above as well. And in the centre here we do have two cup holders. All NX models use the automatic transmission, pretty similar to what you've seen in other Toyota and Lexus products. Towards you for drive, all the way forward for reverse. This car does have a reverse camera, quite clear and crisp. Higher trim models you can get a 360 camera. Then we've got an EV mode that allows you to do about a mile or so on electric mode if you've got enough battery in the car. And then you've got hill descent as well as traction control off and electronic parking brake. Two decent sized cup holders with little grippy bits on the side. This here that can control your sports, eco, normal modes. Realistically, being a hybrid SUV, you'll leave it in normal, maybe eco. And then we've got a dual hinged centre console here, which is quite nice to see, which means both driver and passenger can access it. It's lined with the fuzzy stuff. In this model, it's got the dark rose red on top, which just blends in beautifully. The seats up front are fairly comfortable and supportive. They have got the Tahara leather, which is their kind of synthetic leather option. You can get black, or you can get this dark rose colour on the entry model. This one is obviously the dark rose, which is quite nice to see. All right, we're behind the wheel of the NX350H. Now, first off the bat, you notice you're sitting high, which is the kind of crossover market, and it's pretty competitive the way it's sitting ride height wise. You're buying this car because you want the practicality, the seats, the visibility, and the comfort, especially on our pothole roads of the UK. Now that was one of the things I noticed first, being on these 18-inch wheels. The car does a pretty good job of absorbing the lumps and bumps and around my usual route. It definitely was doing a better job than even my everyday daily car. Now we're just going to enter this 40. I'm going to put it in sports mode. 3, 2, 1. And we're off. So that's got to 40 pretty quickly there. Easy peasy for this vehicle. Now this is the front wheel drive model. You can get an all-wheel drive if you wish. And of course it has higher trim levels. Comfort is one of the main things that I notice out on the road. I'm just going to put it back into normal mode. The car does a really good job of just absorbing lumps and bumps and not making you feel like car sick or anything. It just does a really good job doing on straight lines and motorways around kind of these urban streets. It does a decent job of just, you know, keeping you secure and planted in the vehicle and giving you the confidence around the corner. Yes, of course, you might want to go all-wheel drive if you want a more dynamic driving Lexus NX, or even might want to look at a competition that are rear-wheel drive based. But you're buying this car because you're wanting reliability, the 10-year warranty that Lexus offer with their products here in the UK, which is a fantastic service because I've got an older Lexus which has benefited from that itself. Now this car does use a 2.5 litre 4-cylinder petrol. You're looking around 8.7 seconds to 60 as configured, and 47 miles to gallon claimed, which, you know, I've been getting around that depending on short journeys. I actually managed about 50 doing a quick run to the post office earlier on, just using mostly EV mode. This car does have a drag coefficient of 3.4 and 128 grams per kilometre CO2 if you are looking at one of these as a company vehicle. Now the suspension setup, up front we do have McPherson struts along with the double wishbone in the rear, and all Lexus NX models come with Lexus Safety System Plus. Now that throws in things like the pedestrian detection, as well as crucially the radar cruise control, which is really good just to have, because a lot of car companies might charge you extra, you might pay £700 or something more for that. That comes completely standard with that safety suite that Lexus give you. I think that's a really good system. It just means when you're out in the motorway, you set the speed at say 50, and if the car in front accelerates or decelerates, it keeps you that distance away from the vehicle. Some people might love it, some people might not, but I think it's a really good system and I would recommend using it if you have one of these cars. So I just want to say thank you very much for watching this video on the Lexus NX. If you made it this far, make sure to leave a comment on your thoughts of the urban trim. And if you made it this far, I'd love to know what you thought of the video. Now, a special thanks to LEXUS Glasgow for loaning this NX 350h Urban for today's video. To recap, £44,000 gets you quite a lot of tech here in 2025. Along with that 10-year warranty, you're going to be enjoying some peaceful and restful nights over the ownership period. Kind of car you can buy and own for peace of mind. I wanted to recap, and yeah, thanks very much for watching. Ciao.